Now, the nation's $20 billion childcare sector is under the microscope today, with Four Corners revealing allegations that some providers are putting profits before care with little oversight. Every day, millions of parents put their trust in providers to keep their kids safe, but the ABC has uncovered deep failures and systemic issues in the sector, sparking nationwide calls for action.
Four Corners reporter Adele Ferguson joined us a little earlier.
What we found was that the sector is now dominated by private enterprise. And when I say private enterprise, it's publicly listed companies, it's private equity, property developers. Many of these companies put profit before care. The whole reason for being is to make a profit, not to look after kids. And when you've got a regulator that is missing in action around the country, it's a recipe for disaster. So we found that if you look at the data, there's 26,000 serious incidents a year. That's what's reported. That's things like injuries, trauma, going to kids getting taken to hospital in ambulances. It's huge, but there's massive underreporting.
What were some of the things that really shocked you when you started investigating this and speaking to people about what exactly goes on?
Yeah, so there were so many things. It's the educators who are burnt out, underpaid. There's a lot of churn going on, casualisation of the workforce, which is really affecting the quality of care. There is a number of fake qualifications, so parents don't realise that some of the educators aren't even qualified. And then there's some case studies that are absolutely horrifying.
How do you think parents will react when they hear some of these stories?
I think they'll be really alarmed, but hopefully it will make them actually start looking at behind the glitz of some of these companies where you look at these flashy menus, flashy websites. All is not what it seems.
What will happen now, do you think? A lot of advocates and experts have been, you've been speaking to them. What are they telling you about what they think needs to change?
Well, they're saying that this sector has been in crisis for a long time. There's lazy government policy, and they're calling for an inquiry, that there needs to be a public inquiry so that people can have a voice and talk about their experiences, because it's not one-off. We see in the media kids going missing, kids dying, all sorts of things, and it's portrayed as one-off, and it's not, it's systemic.
Adele, was there anything in particular that really surprised you when you started speaking to people who work in the industry? Anything that in particular that really stuck with you?
Yeah, there were so many things, Emma. I think it's that the educators are just feeling really disenchanted because they're so underpaid and they can't do the job. They're treated like glorified babysitters instead of actually looking after kids.
And you can see more on Four Corners with Adele's story there at the special time of 8 p.m. tonight on ABC TV and on ABC iView.
Overseas now, and 4 arrest warrants have been issued after a fire tore through a crowded nightclub, killing at least 59 people and leaving dozens more injured in North Macedonia. Our reporter Bridget Rollison has the details.
This is a horrific tragedy which occurred in the eastern North Macedonian town of Kachani. In a video posted to social media, you can see a live band performing to the Pulse nightclub at around 3 a.m. in the morning. They're using a Pyrotechnics display, and in the top left-hand corner of that video, you can see sparks from that flares start to ignite the ceiling. Those flames then spread through the roof and engulf the entire building. This nightclub was packed with people. There are around 1,500 people inside, many aged 18 to 20, and it was chaos with people trying to escape through thick black smoke. More than 150 people were taken to hospital with severe burns and smoke inhalation, and many of those people had to travel to hospitals in neighbouring countries in Bulgaria, Serbia and Greece. Families of the loved ones killed and injured in the tragedy, as well as witnesses, have spoken of their heartache.
The fire broke out. Everyone started screaming and shouting, "Get out, get out." But unfortunately, there was only one exit and there were 1,500 people inside. Then everyone started pushing each other, so I headed for the exit. I don't know how, but I ended up on the ground. I couldn't get up, and at that moment people started stomping on me. I don't know how, but somehow I managed to get out.
It's my only child and he died. What am I supposed to do? 150 families have been devastated. What is left for me in life? I don't need my life anymore.
Several people are being questioned over this incident, including the nightclub owner. Authorities say this is the deadliest tragedy to have happened in North Macedonia in recent memory.
Yeah, really awful story there. Bridget Rollison with those details. Charles is now here with news, and Charles, police have made a breakthrough over a crime in Adelaide on the weekend.
Yeah, they have, Emma. Police have charged a 20-year-old man with the murder of a man in North Adelaide on Sunday. A 54-year-old man was found unconscious in Brougham Gardens at about 8 o'clock yesterday morning. He was taken to hospital but pronounced dead a short time later. The 20-year-old accused from North Adelaide is due in Adelaide Magistrates Court today. The Tasmanian Premier has backed the state's salmon farms after a protest called for the industry to be shut down. The gathering at Verona Sounds Beach, south of Hobart, comes weeks after pieces of Atlantic salmon washed ashore from nearby salmon enclosures, the results of a mass die-off caused by a bacterial outbreak. Premier Jeremy Rockcliffe says a great majority of Tasmanians support the salmon industry. Police are investigating the cause of a bushfire which destroyed one house and damaged another in Melbourne's outer east. Dozens of residents in Montrose and Kilsyth were forced to flee their homes in the early hours of Sunday morning as strong winds saw a nearby fire suddenly spread quickly. Heavy rains helped firefighting efforts. The Vatican has released the first photo of Pope Francis since the 88-year-old went into hospital more than 1 month ago. The photo is taken from behind and shows Pope Francis celebrating the Holy Mass on Sunday morning in the chapel inside Rome's Gemelli Hospital. Pope Francis has been in hospital since the 14th of February after breathing difficulties developed into pneumonia in both lungs. The severed head of a Melbourne statue of King George V, which has been missing for more than 9 months, appears to have resurfaced at a gig by Irish rappers Kneecap. The hip-hop trio shared a post on social media saying the head was put on stage for a few tunes and then whisked away. Victoria Police has been searching for it since last June when it was removed from the bronze statue on King's birthday. Video posted online on Australia Day appeared to show it on a barbecue in a backyard. Hobart is set to be one live music venue poorer, with UTAS's Uni Bar set to close after nearly 50 years. Uni Bar has played host to up-and-coming and also well-known musicians, including the likes of Paul Kelly, Cold Chisel, Powderfinger and The Presets. The University of Tasmania is redeveloping the Sandy Bay campus and won't extend the current lease, with a series of farewell gigs planned before it runs out at the end of June. I'm sure there'll be plenty of parties come before June.
Oh, absolutely. Will there ever? Thanks, Charles.